Hey there, welcome back to my Intro to Performance Guitar course, Lesson 9. Let's get right into it. So we've been covering the cage system one shape at a time. We have already covered the A shape and the G shape. Now I didn't start with the C shape because for the C shape in the key of C I'm going to have the open strings. It's going to be better to use the 12th fret instead of the open strings to understand better the shape. Ideally by now you should feel comfortable with the A shape and the G shape, right? The most important thing is that you know how to harmonize the scale inside the shape. Now if you feel comfortable with the shapes and you want to explore a little bit more, try to change of key. The shapes are not going to change, you're just going to move horizontally, right? A good idea is to move in the circle of fours, meaning go from the key of C to the key of F, then go to B flat, E flat, A flat, and so on. It's important, if you don't know them by heart, to first grab a paper and write the chords inside the key. Remember, the shapes are not going to change, but the chord names are going to change. Maybe you have chords with flats or sharps, etc. But again, mainly we're going to focus in the key of C. Once we master the information in the key of C, it's going to be easier to change of key. So now, today we're going to talk about the E shape. Once we leave the minor pentatonic behind and we're introduced to the major scale, this is actually the first shape that we learn, the E shape. So why is this shape easier to learn? Once we start discovering the fretboard, one of the first things that we learn is to find our notes on the lower E string. So if you know where your note C is, you can play this shape. That's why we at the beginning associate the E shape with the major scale. So how do we find the E shape in the key of C? Let's do it. So now let's go to E major, open chord, right? I'm gonna free my first finger and I'm gonna have E major again. If I go half step up, I have F major. If I bar, this bar chord is acting like the open string. So now I have an F major bar chord. So once I play F, I'm gonna find C with the same shape. So from F to G, there is a whole step. From G to A, there is a whole step. From A to B, there is a whole step. And from B to C, there is a half step. Now I'm ready to play the E shape. Now, so far, all these cage system scale exercises, I've been playing it at 80 beats per minute. Now, I feel comfortable playing 8 notes at 80 beats per minute. If it's too fast for you, go to YouTube, find a drum beat there, go 10 BPM slower, and try to play 8 notes at 70 beats per minute. The idea is that you feel comfortable playing 8 notes. So first of all, let's play the E shape up and down starting in the root, 8th fret of the E string. Now, once you feel comfortable playing the scale up and down, let's try it with different intervals. Now, let's play the scale using thirds. Now, fifths can be a little bit trickier, but it's a nice finger exercise. Also, when you improvise, it's nice that you bring fifths to your playing. So now, let's play the E shape using fifths. Now, the next exercise is to harmonize the C major scale using triads, but melodically. Sometimes we're going to have 2 notes per string, sometimes we're going to have 1 note per string. Here's how it sounds. So again, we're going melodically, 1 note at a time. So I'm going to start with C major here. Root, and then I'm going to go to the 3rd, and on the same string I'm going to have the 5th. Right? Then my pinky goes up to the D note, and now I have 1 note per string. Here I can play it harmonically, if I want to, or melodically, because I'm playing 1 note per string. Then I'm going to go to E minor. Now I'm going to have 2 notes per string. I have the root, the flat 3, and I got the 5th. I'm going to go to F major, the 4th chord, again, 2 notes per string. To G major, 1 note per string. Again, here I can play it harmonically, or I can play it melodically, 1 note at a time. Then I'm going to go to A minor, 2 notes per string, B diminished, 2 notes per string too, back to C major, the 1 chord, root position triad, strings 2, 3, and 4. Now again, this I can play it harmonically, or I can play it 1 note at a time. Then I go to D minor, 2 notes per string, E minor again, 1 note per string, so I could play it harmonically, or 1 note at a time. F major again, 1 note per string, and then I'm going to finish on G major, 2 notes per string, and then with my middle finger I play the root. Now, something really important too is to find the 1 chord inside the shape. Let's see how many inversions can we find inside this shape. So inside the E shape I have this C major, second inversion, strings 3, 4, and 5, C major root position, strings 2, 3, and 4, and C major first inversion, strings 1, 2, and 3. Now all these triad inversions are inside our classic bar chord, right? But ideally you don't want a double note, so it's nice that you see that here you have the fifth on the bass, here you have the root on the bass, and here you have the third on the bass. So second inversion, strings 3, 4, and 5, root position, 2, 3, and 4, first inversion, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so far we have played the shape up and down. We have played the shape using intervals, in this case first and fifths. We played the one chord in all their inversions, and we also harmonized the C major scale using triads melodically. This time we're going to harmonize the C major scale but using chords, again, inside the shape. Again, it's important to know the major scale formula of chords. The one chord is major, the 2 and the 3 are minor, 4 and 5 major, 6 minor, and the 7 is diminished. So this is how it's going to sound. Okay, so here I'm going to start with this C major second inversion, strings 3, 4, and 5. Then I'm going to go to the 2 chord, D minor, first inversion, meaning the flat 3 is on the bass, right? Then I'm going to go to E minor, second inversion, strings 2, 3, and 4. Now I'm going to go half step up to F major, second inversion, right? From here I'm going to go to the 5 chord, G major, first inversion, the third is on the bass. Then I'm going to go half step up to A minor, first inversion, again the third is on the bass. Now for B diminished I decided to use spread triad, meaning the second note is an octave higher. For example, if I decided to go to this B diminished, strings 2, 3, and 4, root position, the flat 5, 6th fret of the B string is outside the shape. Now I could have gone to this B diminished, first inversion, right? But my idea was to finish in this C major chord, so it felt good to do this. And to finish, we're going to play over our Latin beat that we've been using for these lessons. The chord progression went like this: D minor to G major to C major to A minor. It's a 2-5-1-6 in the key of C. Here's how it sounds. Now for this example, again, I'm going to start low and I'm going to try to finish on strings 1, 2, and 3. So here I'm starting on D minor, first inversion. Then I'm going to go to this G major, strings 2, 3, and 4, first inversion 2. Then I'm going to go to C major, the 1 chord, root position, and A minor, first inversion. Notice that between the 1 chord and the 6th chord, there's just one note difference. Then I'm going to go to this D minor, strings 1, 2, and 3, first inversion, to G major, second inversion. To C major, the 1 chord, first inversion, and to E minor, the 6th chord, second inversion. And again, notice that one note changes from the 1 chord to the 6th chord. Now, one more time I'm going to say, this is all the information you need to understand popular music. Once you feel comfortable with the key of C, just change of keys. The shapes are not going to change, you just need to get used to knowing the new chords. Understanding that when you're in the key of G, there's no F, you need an F sharp. If you're in the key of B, there's going to be a B flat, and so on. But again, a B flat major root position is going to be the same as a C major root position, just in a different fret. So next lesson we will cover the D shape. Have fun with it and see you next time.